Oh boy.
That was about 110 once you shave off, us setting up at the top.
Mm-hmm. Cool. I
All right.
do Michael Rapaport. I still got that clip.
Okay. So let's do Michael Rapaport, the racist cop.
Mm-hmm.
And Dre's wife. There's more updates on that shit.
I wanted to get to. That chick is like, fuck COVID. Oh, the LeVar Ball shit. I gotta. Did you see that?
I did see that. I didn't touch it because I was like, ooh, we gonna lose every black female person we have if I start talking about that shit.
They ain't gonna meet no good woman. You just gonna meet hoes. Damn, really?
And all I can say to that is
we'll leave it there. All right. Hey, welcome to the after show. T-Store, Mike Swift. If you just finished watching, what was that? That'll be episode 22 at this point. You have heard us talk about quite a few things. Adrian Brana, or Always Begging, as he's affectionately called in the comment section of his Instagram. But there was one thing I wanted to get, because we're recording this on a Saturday before Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to you, by the way.
Yes, happy Thanksgiving to you, sir.
The day before, or like last night, this morning, as we're recording this, of course, it was reported that Donald Trump Jr. Came down with coronavirus and is quarantining, but he's asymptomatic and all that good shit. Like, my wife told me, she saw the story first and told me, she's like, yeah, he's got Trump Jr.'s got the virus. And I'm thinking to myself, maybe it'll get one of the Donalds. Maybe not the one we want, but one of them. Is that horrible? That's horrible. That's horrible.
It's certainly horrible, but I think there are a number of people who share that sentiment.
Get one of them motherfuckers. Just get one of them. You know what I'm saying? Okay, that's hard. That's okay. I'm sorry. Like your parents make you apologize. Now apologize. Sorry,
mom.
But what I thought was pretty fun about it. Actor and I can't call him a comedian, but he is funny. Michael Rapaport.
He's funny as hell.
Had his own take on it. I'm just going to let it fly. If it, okay. All right, let's try that again.
Russian bots have taken over you.
Yeah. What the hell? Let's see. Where are we at? God dog it. No, it's not working for me. Well, Michael Rapaport. Basically, now I gotta play it. Because
because you can't. I heard it. You talking about it won't give it justice.
Not at all.
You've got to hear it.
All right, just making sure. So again, where'd it go? I just had the shit.
Look, while you pulling that up, whenever somebody says Michael Rapaport, it makes me think about the Tribe Called Quest documentary that he did several years ago before Fife passed away.
Yeah.
It was absolutely amazing.
It was very dope. I saw. So here's the story of that. I have to go get the footage, but I interviewed Michael Rapaport on a red carpet for like a hip hop honors years before it actually dropped. He was still shooting it, or wasn't quite done. He was still documenting it, right? and he was telling me about it maybe almost 6 years prior when he was when he was doing the documentary. It was actually really good. But let me see. Can you hear this? Nope, that's not it.
No.
Try this again. Can you hear that? Did you hear that? Motherfucker.
It was playing before the show.
Yeah, but I don't know what happened. I think you're right, Russian bots. All right, so I'm in real time. I'm going to download this audio, and hopefully it works out. In the meantime, moving on, and we'll come back to Michael Rapaport and Trump Jr.
So let's talk about this, what I teased coming out of the show. In Michigan, a part-time sheriff's deputy got fired for a photo that she posted. So when I read the story initially, I was like, that's some dude with a horrible fucking sense of humor. But as I read it's a she. Let me find her name, because I love to be accurate with the names of people who do dumb shit. Oakland County Sheriff's Office terminated longtime employee Sherry Prose for a Halloween post. It's unclear when Prose shared her post, but it featured 3 pumpkins in one photo. So it's 2 photos, and I'm going to put it up in a second. So it featured 3 pumpkins in one photo, and it was labeled Trump, Biden, Pence. Mm-hmm. Pumpkins carved up, jack-o'-lanterns like you do for Halloween.
Right.
And the other photo, unattached, but by the side, it was captioned Kamala Harris. It was a goddamn watermelon carved up like you would carve a pumpkin.
Right.
When I read this story, the first thing that I thought was, why is racism so funny?
Pumpkins. Well, I mean, Trump does look like he is orange, but other than that,
racism is hilarious.
Did she get fired?
This picture. She did get fired.
Okay, good.
The county sheriff came out and was like, yeah, no bueno. This ain't how we rock. You're fired. But now there's the Instagram post in question.
Oh boy. Oh,
right.
I don't even know what to say about that's. I mean, it's horrible, but it's kind of funny. It's
so Sherry says, I think she served for 30 years, and I'm not a racist. I've never been a racist. Yada yada yada. Now, what I say to that is, let's look at your record, right? If your record shows that you haven't done anything or racist ways and you don't have any complaints, then I'm more inclined to listen to you tell me you're not a racist. This makes me more inclined to believe that you are, despite what you say.
Yeah.
Because this is, it's a lot going on here, right? So she took the time and effort to carve multiple pumpkins and / watermelons, right?
Right.
None of them look like the people that she say they depict.
Right.
So it is very deliberately racist to assign different names to the different carvings. Then they are separate in separate pictures. Like, she couldn't even put them in one picture and take the picture and then put it that way. She wanted you to know that this one is separate from the other ones, and this one is a depiction of an African-American woman. Mm. It's some, that's not just you bump into somebody on the street and they say, fuck you, nigga.
Right.
This is racism that took effort, work, and time and thought.
Yeah,
Like,
that's racism in her bones. It's in her soul. Like, it's in her DNA. It's in her hair. That's how racist. How racist are you? You're racist in your hair. Her hair might be made out of like slip knots or some shit. Like she's super racist. Like she got ropes made into her hair. Like she's yeah. I'm not racist. I know a black person. Yeah, okay.
I arrested a black person once. I'm not racist.
I arrest you all the time, and I never call you niggas. Okay, thanks.
Her statement. I worked hard in my law enforcement career, and I am proud of the reputation I earned in my 30 plus years of service. I am not racist and never will be. However, she never offered an explanation for the photo and the Instagram post.
It's clear. I mean, I think it's clear. People with racist instincts, racial, that may not actually act on it, have been emboldened to do so. Now, and she didn't think it would be, didn't think there would be any type of backlash for it. That's the other side. It's like, well, you think this would be okay? This would be okay. You think this is okay? Okay. That's a problem. But listen, I applaud her. I mean, if you're going to be racist, be the best racist you possibly can. That's top tier racism. Like you achieved.
That took planning, work, and some effort.
Yes, give her. I hate it, but that's great work. Great work. Great work.
I thought this shit was hilarious.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I thought it was funny as fuck. It's so ridiculous that it's just funny. Like it does not offend me. That did not offend me at all. Because I can't be offended by somebody that ridiculous.
It's funny. Like I kind of think that way too. Sometimes I can find it offensive. I can clearly see something and understand why it's offensive. It's offensive. It's wrong. You shouldn't be saying it, but I can still laugh at it. That doesn't mean I agree with it. That doesn't mean I think it's okay. I just know you're laughing at the how fucking ridiculous it is. It's just, you know what I mean?
100%. It's absurd to the point of humorous.
Right. Yeah. And
I love it.
And not in a good way. Like,
well, I say hats off to Sherry Pros for giving us content for this lovely Saturday morning.
Yes. Thank you, Sherry. Congratulations on being the best racist.
Oh, and Sherry, Walmart's hiring.
Yeah.
They just won't put you in the produce section.
Well, another racist that's losing their job. His son has come down with COVID, as we were talking about earlier. I think at this point, I think I said it before. They're gonna have to like fumigate the White House with fire or rip the bitch down and build a whole new one. Because there's so many COVID cases happening throughout just the White House alone. Ugh. I wouldn't want Biden to be in there right now. Like he ought to be president from Delaware. Like y'all can keep
high risk.
Yeah, let's give it a minute for that disease to die in there. And I'm not just talking about COVID. But in any case, Rapaport, Michael Rapaport, his take on Trump Jr. getting COVID, I can't put it any better.
You fuck. Oh, man. God damn it, Dick Stain Donald Trump Jr., a.k.a. Pig Dick Jr., you fucking worthless, good-for-nothing, cock-sucking frat boy. Fuck. Oh, man, who the fuck would have thought the week would end off like this, you fucking good-for-nothing, you dummy. You lonely fucking dummy, you and your stupid girlfriend came out with that Botoxed face hopped up on whatever the fuck she was hopped up on. And she said, the best is yet to come. Who fucking knew? Who fucking knew? Little accident. Daddy's little pre-cum. That's you, motherfucker. Daddy's little mistake. Donald the Mistake Trump Jr. That motherfucker, you are an accident. What the fuck are you gonna do now, you fucking idiot? You're up there trying to sell fucking books. Oh. And you're like, oh, I'm gonna sign it, and if I sign it, I'll give it away for the... No one wants your book, motherfucker. No one wants your fucking infected fucking signature on a book. You dummy, you ain't just on Tucker Carlson talking about, the symptoms of COVID-19 are next to nothing. No, Junior, Pig Dick Junior, you're next to nothing. You, motherfucker, are next to nothing. You've never won anything. You've never earned anything. You fuck good, motherfucker. Now you got to quarantine by yourself. None of your fake friends are going to be able to fucking sit around. The only reason why people even fucking like you is because they're trying to get something from you. You're a fucking worm. Damn. You fuck. You can't even have the privilege and the pleasure of changing daddy's fucking man diaper. Fix yourself, you fucking infection, you.
Yo, I'm going to start a band. And I'm going to name it Daddy's Fucking Man Diaper. That's going to be the name of my band.
Man Diaper. He called them Daddy's Little Pre-Cum. Oh, my God. This white
That'll be our first single.
This white on crime has to stop. That's... You violated the hell out of him. Oh, man. If you didn't...
I hate the white community tearing each other down.
If I didn't
it's tragic.
If I didn't like Michael Rapaport before, I'd love him now. He's always been Daddy's little
dude.
Dick Stain Jr.
I've come at people hard. I've never come at somebody that hard, man. Ooh.
Yeah, I think, but honestly, I think Mr. Rapaport may need to seek some help in expressing himself, because I don't think we really understand what he meant or how he feels. I'm getting mixed messages about how he feels about the Trump family. I just don't get it. I mean, he may want to. So, Michael Rapaport, Mr. Rapaport, please. We're not sure what you mean, sir.
Can you clarify your position, please?
Do you like the Trumps for some reason? And why would that be? I don't understand. I kid. That's awesome.
That was cold.
Fuck off.
Jesus, that was.
Oh man, yeah. That was great. That just puts me in the holiday spirit. That was just great. So
it's he took a part of that from a speech that the Native Americans wrote to the Pilgrims after Thanksgiving.
Right. Hey, let's not forget. Oh man. Woo. Yeah, I'm cool. I'm cool now.
That was better than a shot of whiskey. That shit was great.
I'm gonna go put my Christmas tree up now. That was great. Okay, that made me feel. That just made me feel good. Okay. Happy holidays.
So, in the same vein of go fuck yourself,
mm-hmm.
The latest update on Dr. Dre's divorce from his, I love this phrase, estranged wife.
That's
just a great phrase.
Yeah. Wait. I'm looking for the. Didn't we have some music for them?
Yeah.
We did. Oh, here it is. The latest episode in The Young and the Loveless. Dr. Dre and his wife.
So it's time to sit down and do deposition, right? Face to face is usually how that happens. You know, this side and that side, and they ask questions and they get a lot of stuff on the record. And Dre is like, nah, bro, let's do that over Zoom. I don't want your little COVID fingers near me. Don't breathing on me.
Yeah, you know.
Nicole comes back in the spirit of being petty as fuck and says, Dre has been seen about town with all types of technicians and producers, and there's been no social distancing there, which is a fair point. Oh, but wait. Then she throws in, and he's been seen coming in and out of all types of women's homes. So I don't think his concerns about catching coronavirus are valid, and she's pushing for the in-face depot. And Dre is basically like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah,
but I love how she threw in the bit about seen coming in and out of all types of women's homes.
Yeah. In other words, Dre, you got time to fuck these hoes. You got time to come get COVID. Fuck how you feel about COVID. Come, I need to be able to throw a drink in your face if this deposition don't go the way I want it to. Like, yo, that's crazy.
And Dre is like, yeah, look, bitch, you didn't want to be married to me, so why you concerned what houses I'm coming in and out of?
So again, who filed for? She filed. She's the one that filed for divorce?
She filed. Yes.
Wow, that's...
And just an interesting statistic for all of my men who are out there still considering marriage. I'm not saying you should. I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm just saying weigh the data.
Right.
50% or more of marriages end in divorce. Of the 50% that in divorce, 80+% of those proceedings are filed by the woman.
Well, yeah.
I'm just saying, read the data.
Right. Well, you know what her frustration is that there's a prenup on file that she's trying to get thrown out, because when they got married, he didn't have all the money, that he has now. He wasn't, a billionaire. He didn't have Beats by Dre and he was a musician, a successful musician and producer. And had made some millions. Yeah. But this Beats deal and all this that's come, far outweighs anything he's ever done in music. And I'm sure she got comfortable. You know what I mean? And it's like, I'm not going back to living in an apartment. Like, you know what I'm saying? I need all that. And she's still, let's not forget also, like we talked about this earlier in earlier episodes. She's facing criminal charges at this point because she snatched money out of businesses that she had no business snatching money out of, allegedly.
Something like $300,000. That she was involved with the business at one point. I think it's one of his production studios or something. When all of this happened, she got fired and she went and started, not once, but like multiple times, took money out of that business's account, and she had been removed from the business. So yeah, that's theft, right?
And theft. That's not going to pan out well. And that's a separate case.
Yes.
That's a separate case. So look, let's say even if she gets this money, from Dre, if it happens, she gets alimony or whatever the case, she's still got to go to court for criminal charges. And that's not going to be just to be about, I'm sure they'll probably ask for restitution, but you also got to spend some time.
You should have to spend some time, right? So They didn't break up, and Dre just said, hey, go fuck yourself, figure out how to live.
Right.
During this breakup, while she's dogging him and stealing from him, he's paying for her life. Something to the tune of $300,000 a month or something like that. He's paying for all her shit. Then she went and stole money from him while he's paying for her shit, and they're disputing the prenup, which I have not seen the prenup, but I'm pretty sure the prenup is not structured to where she gets nothing. She probably just doesn't get what she thinks she deserves, which that's between them to figure out what she deserves and how she contributed to the building of his business within their marriage. But I think it's really ridiculous that she would steal from him while he's paying her. And let's say it works out in his favor.
Right.
And she gets brought, she gets what she gets based on the prenup. She gets brought up on charges. She has to pay restitution. Who's paying the restitution? He is. She's paying the restitution with the money he's giving her.
Right. This is true.
At the end of the day, all this is coming out of him. I don't blame him for sticking to his guns on the prenup and what was written. Don't blame him one iota, because she'll still probably walk away very, very rich and in much better shape than 80-90% of the country. Right.
Yeah, you remember the movie Straight Outta Compton? Her character is depicted in that movie as someone that was really sharp, was able to read contracts, you know what I mean? I'm sure it's true about it. What she had, I don't know if she had a law degree or anything like that, but she got this just sounds like things went bad, things went left real fast, and she sounds kind of bitter or angry.
Yeah.
Or you know what I mean? That's what it seems like. That's what it seems like. And she's not happy that he's like, all right, fine, I'm moving on, and has been in and out of women's houses or whatever the case. Probably was doing so before she filed for divorce. Maybe that's what drove her to do it.
Maybe allegedly,
whatever. But
look, when you decide not to be married to a dude, or when you decide not to be married to a chick, you no longer have a say of who they lay with.
Correct.
If you want to have a say, stay married to them.
Right. Yeah, that's it. This is it's an interesting drama. Very interesting drama. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see a series created out of this at some point. Somebody could take this story. I would watch it.
Straight Outta Compton 2, straight out of his pockets, right? Like just
straight out of luck. Man, that's terrible.
Straight out of that goddamn marriage.
My goddamn house.
Oh boy. All right, let's wrap. Let's do some birthdays and then hit the road. Before I roll through them, I want to say congratulations to one Miss Cardi B.
Oh, word.
She's going to be named Woman of the Year at Billboard's Women in Music event coming up next month. Okay. So congratulations to her for that.
I mean, who'd have thought WAP would have made her? Well, it's not just WAP, but the WAP gets Woman of the Year. How about that? Excellent. Progress, people. That's what we're talking about. Pushing the culture forward. It's progress.
Well, she's certainly not doing that. I mean, I applaud her accomplishments, but she's not pushing the culture forward.
Whatever do you mean? WAP? Who doesn't love WAP?
Well, I can think of a very large group that don't.
I'm talking about the song.
Oh, okay. That would just simply be me. That does not love WAP.
All right. Yeah, congrats.
And maybe Kim. Maybe. Because I looked back at that. He was like,
Oh yeah, shout out to him. He walked that minefield very carefully.
He did. He did.
Step tip top and another thing. Okay, sorry.
Happy birthday to one Mr. Ronnie DeVoe. You may know him from music's New Edition.
Tell him
he turned 53.
Yeah. Belba DeVoe.
He started. I think Ronnie is the one who started a real estate firm here
in Atlanta. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mr. Martin Scorsese turned 78.
Okay.
I think his most recent film is The Irishman. It's a Netflix movie. Robbie D is in it.
I tried watching that. It's just long.
It's long as fuck, but it's really good.
It's really good. It was really good. Some of the effects that they did on like to make them look younger. If you hadn't seen it, it goes through a whole lifespan of gangsters, and Robert De Niro and what's
Pesci.
Joe Pesci. They played the roles, but they digitally de-aged them. And
yeah.
It's, you get used to it, but initially it's kind of weird to watch. It's kind of weird. It's a little weird.
No, it's a great film. I recommend it. It's over 3 hours. So it's a fucking commitment. But it's a great movie.
Yeah. Don't drink water while you watch it.
Oh, I think I had to watch it in stages. I watched it in like 3 stages. I couldn't watch the whole thing at one time.
That's like when my wife and I we went to see Avengers Endgame. We strategically planned that because we knew it was going to be a long movie. We had our drinks and stuff before we went to the theater, and before we sat down, and before the show started, we each went to the bathroom real quick, like to empty your bladder, and sat down, and then we didn't drink anything while sitting there watching the movie. So
I had a popcorn and a Sprite. And really, that's the only time I ever drink soda is when I'm in a movie. Mm-hmm. And dude, oh my God, about halfway through, I had to go to the bathroom so bad. I was like, fuck, I'll just miss whatever happens. They're going to have a cleanup on aisle 5 if I don't.
Oh, man. Yeah. Wow.
Danny DeVito turned 76. You know him from television's Taxi, Always Sunny in Philadelphia. The wonderful cinematic treat that was Twins that he did with one Mr. Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I have a funny story with DeVito. Back when I worked on Steve Harvey's show, he was a guest on the radio show, Steve Harvey radio show, syndicated show, when he was based here in New York City. And Danny DeVito came in. I happened to be running the board for the show. Now, just humor me. Nationally syndicated show. We have over, I don't know how many different markets the station was in. And I have a dump button just in case things go south. Most radio stations do. But Danny DeVito came in drunk and started
oh boy
on the air. He started cursing like loud. He was just throwing some words out there. And initially I'm on the board, I'm preparing for what's coming up next. And I heard him say something. And for those who don't know, with a dump button, the station, the program is on either 10 or 13 second delay. It's about 20 seconds or whatever, right? However long it builds up. And so you have a short amount of time to hit that button to delete what was said right before it goes out across the airwaves. So it hit me, and then finally, I'm like, wait a minute, did he just? And I looked over at Steve Harvey, and he was looking at me, And so I hit the dump button. And Steve got a big smile on his face. He doesn't stop him and go, hey. He just lets him go. He cusses again. Steve is getting a kick out of this. I'm looking at, he does nothing. He looks at Danny DeVito. He looks at me. He looks back at Danny DeVito with a big grin on his face. And I was just like, oh, and I hit the dump button again. So now I'm out of dumps. I think I hit it 2 or 3 times. I'm out of dumps. I'm like, if he cusses again, it's going across nationally. That means an FCC fine that for I don't know how many stations that are running the program and yeah. So
wait, before we move on, let's explain how dump works, right? Because a lot of people are like, just hit the goddamn dump button again. How do you run out of dumps? So if you 20 seconds delayed, each time you hit the dump, it brings it closer up to real time. So you can only hit the delay a certain number of times before you're in real time. And there's nothing you can do if somebody says, fuck, and it goes out over the air. And now with the FCC fines, you don't get fined once. You get fined for every market that fuck went out over. Right. Think back to when Janet's nipple popped out during the Super Bowl halftime show. Yeah. They didn't just get like for, okay, you were on the Super Bowl, this one fine. It was fines in markets all over the U.S., stations that were airing it had no idea. Television, generally speaking, doesn't have like a dump kind of thing. So you're now looking at facing, and what is that fine? Like $40,000 per instance or something like that?
More, I can't remember. It might be more now, but for each occurrence in each station in each market that ran it, and they passed those savings on to the talent. So that gets up there pretty high. I got lucky. He didn't cuss again, and we was able to get out of the segment and back to music before he said anything else. But I remember famously that day, Danny DeVito was on a promo run. I think he was promoting Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I think he was promoting that season of that. And he had went on The View and was just as drunk over there. I was like, he was just, how'd you stay drunk that long? Like, he didn't sober up, no? Did he
just kept drinking
on the way to the studio and drink some more and then went on to the show? Like, yeah. But yeah, that's my funny Danny DeVito story.
Is he still married to Rhea Perlman?
I didn't hear that they got divorced, so I assume so.
They were the weirdest looking little Hollywood couple that just loved each other. It was just so cute.
Yeah, and they're both dwarfs. So, well, midgets or dwarfs or little people. I don't know what you want to call it, but
is she classified as a little person?
I think so.
I think she's just a short woman.
No, she's super short. She's just as short as Danny DeVito.
Fair enough.
She's just proportionate.
Rhea Perlman, everybody, she's most famous for her role of Carla, the waitress, the cocktail waitress on the show Cheers.
Right. Yeah.
I'll put a picture up, or probably at this point have put a picture up and pulled it down. Lorne Michaels, creator of TV's Saturday Night Live, turned 76. We just talked about this gentleman last weekend. Mr. RuPaul turned 60. Hey, say what?
You better work. I'm sorry. That was...
I remember when that song came out. I think I was spinning still, or was probably just starting to spin records or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I remember the dilemma of, do I play this song?
Why wouldn't you?
Because the record was hot.
Yeah. Why wouldn't
it was a hot record? Well, I mean, Black community in the South at that time wasn't no big love of homosexuality, transgender, lesbianism, LGBTQ plus. That was a no-no back then. So to play that record, it was rough. It was a rough call.
But okay, it was a house record. And so house music, I mean, everyone loves house music. Let me be clear on that. Shout out to Chicago. That's where it started. New York City took it on, took to it as well. And house music still lives on really big in the Chi. But like in New York City, house music was really embraced by the LGBTQ community. Like that's their music. Like, you know what I mean? So I
think in New York, y'all were probably 10 years ahead of where the rest of the country was in acceptance of LGBTQ. That community was real covert back then.
Yeah.
In the South, it was very covert. And it was very much frowned upon in the African American community. And it's to get kind of serious for a moment. Whether however you feel about it, it is impressive to me in such a short amount of time. And admittedly, there are strides that still need to be made and distance that needs to be covered. But in a relatively short amount of time, the level of acceptance is impressive to me. To me, it doesn't speak on, accepting a lifestyle or acknowledging a lifestyle or pushing a narrative and how a lot of people say that. To me, it speaks on accepting another human being for who and what they are, whether you agree with it or not.
I think it has to deal with, I think a lot of that has to do with how much, people are exposed to it or, exposed to and, knowing people, meeting people, different people that are, you know what I mean? And seeing, oh, he's not half bad. Or even just from seeing certain programs on television and being able to laugh. You know what I'm saying? Which
it becomes exposure humanizes, and how someone lives their lives becomes less of a political talking point or a point of a contention and more of that's just Johnny.
Right.
I know Johnny. Johnny's cool. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm sorry. I just went down a serious rabbit hole. This is supposed to be a funny show. One Mr. Damon Wayans Jr. turned 38.
Yeah. Because
he was. I know him from New Girl. I thought he was really funny on that show.
Yeah. It was another show he was doing. He went on he did as well as another sitcom. It was New Girl, and then he left New Girl, and
yes.
Oh, I can't remember what it was. It didn't last very long though. And then he went back to New Girl. But how much
used to shoot?
Okay.
Go ahead.
I was saying how much he looks like his father is. It's crazy. Like it's literally like if you look at Damon Wayans Sr. in any of his earlier movies or TV, and then close your eyes and someone puts a picture up of Damon Wayans Jr. on New Girl, you go, oh, okay, he didn't gray.
He aged very well.
Very well.
That show was in production, worked for Fox out in LA, and they would shoot different scenes on the lot. And like one day you can go into the cafeteria and the next day you can't because they're shooting an airport scene. Gotcha. So it was always kind of fun to watch the show and be like, hey, that's the cafeteria. Fabulous turned 43. I say that way because that is how it is spelled.
F-A.
He is not fabulous. He is fabulous.
And we know
there was a joke there. I'm just not gonna do it. Nope. Mike Jones turned 39.
Ooh.
Mike Jones.
Ooh.
Mike Jones.
Yo, when I was in Atlanta, I forget the club I was doing. At the time. It was in in Midtown. And I'm in the club, I'm spinning, playing records, and this cat walks up to the booth and he says to me, hey, yo, shout out Mike Jones. And I looked up and it was him. And so I looked up and I said, who? He said, Mike Jones. Oh. And he smiled and walked over and I shouted him out.
People not from the South probably have no idea what that reference is.
Yeah, that's the same cat that gave out his phone number on records. And was a real number. Serious phone number.
He was popping back in the day. He was poised to explode. I wonder what happened that just kind of made his career fizzle.
Time?
Yeah.
Material? You know what I'm saying? People, I think, especially when it comes to entertainment, you always have to reinvent yourself. You know what I mean? Lil Jon is one of those cats that, rose up through the crunk era, ushered in the crunk era, right? And when crunk music started coming and trap music was the thing, he was still in it, but then he resurfaced and, what's the group? We talked about them the other week, Quincy Jones' nephews.
LMFAO.
I believe he signed them. And he was on, you know what I mean? So the
we got to get John on. And I haven't talked to John in forever, but I got to find a contact to get to John because John has a very interesting story. And I was fortunate enough to be around when a lot of it happened. Now, admittedly, he and I were not close when a lot of it was happening, but we were all running in the kind of the same circles. He's from here. He went to high school here. I think he either went to Doug or Mays. I can't remember which one. And John started out playing reggae. He was a reggae DJ.
Yeah.
And evolved that thing all the way up to becoming A&R for So Def and Jermaine.
One of his bigger records, he did a remix for Capleton Tour. And that's the version everyone knows. The original tour was a deep reggae record, but he remixed it into a hip hop reggae joint. And that's the version people know. Hold up, wait up. You know what I'm saying? And he has there's some other records, but that's one of the bigger remixes from that time period that made it up here.
From that era, yeah.
Before I even knew who Lil Jon was, I was still in New York when that record hit, and everyone here played it. It's the dynamic.
That record was heat.
Yeah,
record was absolute heat.
Mm-hmm.
But he went on to work for Jermaine. He never put out any records under So Def during that time. But then he put out Who You With.
Mm-hmm. On the independent.
And that independent, yes. And I want to say that was before he and Cersei and Rob and all those guys started Black Market. I think Who You With predated Black Market.
Possible. Yeah, it's possible.
But that record, and I don't think people give that record enough credit. That record is a classic because the sound of hip hop music before Who You With or Who You With, I'm sorry, let me take the H off. And the sound of hip hop music after was different. It changed the sound of hip hop music. People became that was the crunk blueprint, which a watered down crunk blueprint became trap music blueprint. So I don't think Lil Jon gets enough credit for how he changed hip hop music. And I would love to get him on the show to just talk about his journey, man.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
And he's such a good dude. He's a good dude.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Owen Wilson turned 52. That's Luke Wilson's brother.
Which one has the crooked? Owen or Luke?
Both.
Is that like a genetic thing? Because it is like it And it's not like his nose is pointing this way. It's got a dent in it, curves around, and then points at you. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is a roller coaster nose. One Mr. Mike Epps turned 50.
Yeah, what up?
I'm saying nothing. Tony Rich turned 49.
Oh, come on. Stop. I have to address. We won't get it. Okay, that was awkward. What's the issue with Mike Epps?
I don't think he's funny.
Okay.
Mike Epps has never told a joke or done a role in a film that made me laugh.
Really?
Ever. Really.
I think he's funny
now
in movies, but I've
seen him done some serious acting that I liked.
Okay.
But funny wise, I don't think he's funny. I'm just gonna leave it there.
Okay.
And do I tell? Because this isn't even my story to tell. It's not my story to tell, so I'm not going to tell it. But I will say that there's something that went down with him that was close to someone that I know that left a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth. Now, admittedly, it's third-party information, third-party story. It may not be true. There are other sides, yada, yada, yada. But it did leave a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth.
Fair enough.
Tony Rich, 49. Most people don't remember Mr. Tony Rich. He was an act on LaFace. He put out an album. His first album was amazing. His second album, and then
first one, correct?
Yes. I can't even remember the name of the second album, but he faded away into obscurity after that. But that first album, the Tony Rich Project, that thing is dope. It's great album. Tamika Scott from Escape turned 45. Lil Mo turned 42.
Just shout Lil Mo. Her vocals on she makes the records she sings on. Because I have the version, I've mistakenly played the Ja Rule record, Where Would I Be Without You? Without her, there's a version without her on it. Right? And it's a different record. It's the same beat. It's the same lyrics. And it's Ja Rule singing the hook, right? As he does. But without Lil Mo on it, it does not feel like the same record at all. She adds a flavor that made that record a hit. And I think they have to, sure, Irv Gotti and Ja Rule knew that once they put her on it.
She's super goddamn talented.
Yeah. And she has that effect on
and you know what? And I don't think she ever really got her fair time to shine, because she was killing it back in the day, man. Like, her vocals were crazy. She did that one record that was heat, and then nothing.
Got a couple of them. Forever, Superwoman, and
it was the Superwoman remix. That's the one. That record was heat.
Yeah. And then she had a record called Forever. That was dope too. At least up here we play it. And there's another record I can't recall off the top of my head right now, but she had a few joints, and then she's also done radio as well.
I would have loved to see her explode like a Monica or a Brandy, because I really think she had the chops, you know?
Yeah. Sang her face off, boy.
Like, you dropped something. Oh, that was my face. I sang it off. One Mr. Larry King turned 292. I'm kidding. He turned 87.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how old is Mr. Larry King? Because I think his suspenders might be older than him. But continue.
Look, his suspenders ain't holding up his pants; they holding up his body.
The suspenders are
suspenders keep his legs on.
They're surgically planted, so that keeps him in this position here. without the
That motherfucker, he got his suspenders are connected to his socks. And he just
they're connected to his spine that keeps him up right here. Without the suspenders, he'd be It's Larry King. King, the first man to have surgical suspenders.
Oh, fuck.
Planted spinal suspenders.
One Mr. Ted Turner turned 82.
Mm-hmm.
Media mogul,
Yep.
former owner of WCW Wrestling is one of those that he bought.
One of them. CNN. Say no more.
So he's also a very interesting story. Started small, built big, bought a television station and turned it into one of the biggest media conglomerates in the fucking world.
Mm-hmm.
But I was watching a documentary or something, and I'll have to find it. Maybe it's a YouTube video that talks about it, and I'll link it if I can find it. But he decided WWE was WWF.
Right.
And it was blowing up, and Ted Turner was like, fuck it, I'll get into this game. And I think that was when he bought WCW, and he lured over Hulk Hogan and a bunch of other people. And who's the WWE guy?
Vince Vaughn. It's not Vince Vaughn. Vince
McMahon.
McMahon. Thank you.
Him and Vince McMahon were kind of warring with the wrestling world. And it was that kind of war and that feud that just propelled Vince McMahon. It was that the competition of it and the struggle of it brought out the best in him. And obviously they switched it to WWE and just took off. Because when Ted Turner had WCW, it was WCW Nitro, and it was on TNT.
Right.
But Vince McMahon took that thing and just exploded it, man.
I like that, you don't really hear Ted Turner's name. He's not out in the public, making dumb moves, at least not publicly. Or, yeah. But word.
He just out on a ranch. I think he bought like tons of acres of land, and he's got cattle and shit. He's just out on a ranch spending money.
I see. That's what I'm talking about.
He's not into the day-to-day of that stuff anymore. He's like, yeah, I'm out.
Yeah.
Bo Derek turned 64.
By that by 10.
So she did that movie 10. And if you all don't know, let's do this real fast because I'm running out of time. Derek. She did a movie back in the 70s?
It had to be
called 10.
Late 70s.
And I don't even remember the premise of said movie, but she was the example of beauty.
Right.
She's 10.
That's marketing.
That's Bo Derek. In a scene from the movie 10. That's like the famous running on the beach scene.
Got it.
I think it's interesting. What
braids? I'm just realizing this. She has like ethnic braids.
Yeah.
On. She's not particularly very shapely. You know what I mean?
And that's where I was going. It's interesting how what the standard of beauty and attractiveness was then versus what it is now.
It stayed that way for a long time. I mean, I think it's still kind of that way. Black beauty, black women have kind of taken over, but it was challenged. I wouldn't say starting by, but including by Sir Mix-a-Lot, who made the record "Baby Got Back," that challenged the idea of, flat butts, no shape or whatever the case, being beautiful. Like, if that's your thing, that's your thing. But I like black women. Like, the beans, what's the line? Beans and rice didn't miss her.
But I find it interesting for sure. Right.
And then,
anyway,
in that same video was staying on Sir Mix-a-Lot. You know how the song starts. Oh my God, Becky, look at her butt. No, she looks like one of the rap guy's girlfriend. Then at the very end of that video, towards the video, he showed a bunch of very shapely black women, their figures, very beautiful and sensual, beautiful black women, right? By the end of the video, the white girls were siliconing and trying to look like the black woman. Now, if that isn't life imitating art now, or oh my God, I immediately think Kardashian.
Sir Mix-a-Lot is a prophet.
Like, he spoke it to wow.
He foretold of the coming of fake butts.
Mm-hmm.
In his hymn.
Now reading from the book of Mix-a-Lot.
Chapter 1, verse 1. Oh my God, Becky, look at her butt.
And they will envy you.
They shall wanteth your ass.
Your ass and lips.
Oh. All right. Who else do we have? Mike D from the Beastie Boys, 55. Future, 37. One Mr. Demetrius Shipp Jr. You may know him as from his portrayal of Tupac Shakur in the All Eyes on Me biopic.
Yeah, his talent. His talent was he was born and looked like Tupac. I wonder if
I didn't really think he looked that much like Tupac.
He did naturally had, there was some favor there, but yeah, his career started because of that. Hey, you like
I enjoyed the movie.
Yeah. All Eyes on Me?
Yeah.
I gotta go back and watch it. I don't recall. I thought it was interesting that they used Gravy, the same brother that played Biggie in
Notorious.
Use him to kind of, but the stories don't really match up the same.
Yeah.
Especially All Eyes on Me, because he took a lot of creative liberties, things that didn't happen that he, I'm talking about the director that put that movie out. So, yeah.
Well, last but not least, one Mr. Tyga turned 31 last week.
Oh, yeah. Well, he was out partying like in Florida recently.
Yeah.
Right. Might have been for his birthday. Was it a strip club or was it just a regular club?
Oh, it was a strip club.
Strip club. That goes back to what we said a couple of weeks ago. If you're in a strip club during COVID, you trying to get COVID. Like, ain't no such thing as social.
Hey, it's post-elections and he was supporting the poll workers.
Well, then that's different. That's absolutely different. Yeah, Tiger. Yeah.
That joke would have been funnier if I said post-erection and he was supporting the poll workers. God damn it. I hate it when a good joke comes to me after I told it. It's like
well, at least you're not on stage with it. It's worse on stage. Worse. Well, word.
Yeah, he's in the club making it rain, and obviously you can't get a lap dance from 6 feet away. So he got COVID on his jeans.
He was in there with sweatpants. That brother was in there in sweats. He's just gonna make this happen. COVID don't need club, apparently. I don't know.
I just censored another joke.
Huh?
I just censored another joke. That was the second time I've done it during this show.
Place for it. If there's any,
Which is the question I'm asking myself now. Why?
listen. Do you know how many times the things that I say and I forget I say it, and then my wife listens to the episode and comes check me on it. Oh, word! So you gonna get OnlyFans? Oh, that's what you gonna do? And I have to go. Oh yeah, I did say that. Oh yeah. Nah, there's the place for it.
I don't even know what the joke was. It was.
Boy,
There was.
Don't worry about it. Just moving forward. You just know. This is the place for it.
My brain put together the combination of cum and COVID from a lap dance in the strip club. So I was just going to go there with whatever came out. But I stopped myself.
Oh, man. Okay. Well,
He got COVID.
he got COVID. All right.
He don't have COVID-19. He got COVID from a 19-year-old.
Right. Oh, boy. Yeah. Well, anyway.
I think that's a good place to end it.
Yeah. Well,
I'm already, 30 minutes late for a 12 o'clock appointment.
CP time going, brother. That's right. That's right. Because we don't have much, but we got our own time. Come on now.
And the irony to that is I'm the only black person attending this meeting. So
yes. That's how as it should be. As it should be.
Amen.
Black lives.
I'm pushing the call forward.
Walk in there and go, Black time matters. This is CP time. No one told me this was Eastern Standard Time. We on CP time. Everyone. So change your watch and be like, yeah, you don't have this time? Anyway.
All right, folks. Thanks for checking us out. Thanks for sticking with us with the after show. Remember, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. We'll send you a Net Gator. The Net Gator is absolutely free. It allows you to show people that you've joined the Unpopin community and stay safe in these COVID streets. It's free, as I said. Shipping is $398.
No, foul. $399. We're getting it mixed up. Kidding, it's free. It's absolutely free. We ship it to you free. We absorb all that. It's for you, and we want you to have it. And if you don't put it over your face, it's actually, I've been keeping it on like a scarf also. Because if you want to,
it is really good at keeping your neck warm, man. I wear it out. It's getting kind of cold here. It keeps your neck warm. You can pull it up over your face real easy. It's real cool.
Yeah. If you want to put a medical mask on and this up under it, this over it rather, it's actually cool. So yeah, we got these for you. Supply, limited supply. So while supplies last, yep. There we go. Make sure you follow us on all socials at Unpopin Show. Our website, of course, unpopinshow.com. And we just thank you for watching. Appreciate you. And we'll see you on the flip side. Happy holidays.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Hey, thanks for watching the Unpopular Opinion Show right here on YouTube. Appreciate you watching. If you enjoyed what you watched, be sure to subscribe, like, and hit that notification button.
Yeah, hit it. Well, you haven't hit it yet.
You ain't hit it yet. What do you? Oh, come on,
just hit it. Okay, the like button too. I mean, you got it.
Yes, got it. All right, cool. Thank you. Appreciate you.